Why would I want to keep on pouring into a cup that's empty when I could pour into my own cup? Like, what's good, YouTube? We are back with another video. It is 2 days before the new year. 2 days before the new year basically means that we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm giving y'all my final thoughts, everything that I'm leaving behind for the new year, everything that I'm not keeping with me. So this video is basically going to be the ins and outs for the new year, things I've learned, things that I'm over with, things that I'm not carrying into this new year because I don't have time for it. Alright y'all, so let's get into it. 2024 made me realize that I absolutely cannot keep pouring into a cup that's empty. Why would I want to keep on pouring into a cup that's empty when I could pour into my own cup? Like, instead of saying yes to everything, I've made principles with myself where I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to keep putting myself in a position where I have to drain more of myself just to make people happy. I'm not going to keep doing that. 2024, I'm not going to say it was the worst year, but it definitely taught me to do better for myself, because if I don't do better for myself, who is going to do it for me? I know everybody was doing their vision boards and all that stuff. Honestly, I'm not doing a vision board because I feel like I really don't know what God has in store for me. So I'm not going to say it's not good to do a vision board, because I actually love vision boards. But for me personally, I just didn't want to do it. Like, I thought about it, but then I'm really thinking, like, I absolutely don't know what the year has in store for me. I'm not going to lie. If I sit up and make the vision board, it can be a guide to where I want my goals to be, what I want, what I aspire for myself, but I don't know what God has in plan for me. So that's just my personal opinion. But those of y'all that's doing the vision boards, I love that for you. At first, I said that I was not going to make a list, but I have to make a list. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about with y'all is the biggest lessons of 2025. There's so many different things that I could say that I've learned, so many different things where I had to learn about myself, about my surroundings. Not everybody's going to be on your team, and that's one of the biggest things that had to, like, humble me, because for me, I would say that with my personality, I'm very much into, like, helping people. Like, I will help people out if I have to, and if I can, I will help you out. But where that comes to be in a bad place is because you help so many people and you can't even help yourself. How they say in, like, the airplanes, they say grab your oxygen mask first. Don't grab somebody else's to try to save somebody else. Because how you going to give somebody else an oxygen mask and then you end up dying yourself? It does not work that way. That's basically a lesson that was taught to me, because I had to realize, like, this whole year, like, you doing this for that person, you doing this for that person. You just need to slow down and do what you can for yourself, and then everything will come together. You gotta stop putting people before yourself. And I'm literally talking to myself, because that's something that I would do all the time. But 2025, we ain't doing that no more. Simple. The next thing that I would say that 2025, things that I would say, my ins and outs, would be breaking negative cycles. What I mean by breaking negative cycles is, if you say that you're going to get out of your bed, you're going to get up, read your Bible, and you don't do that, that's a negative cycle. Like, don't get me wrong. If you say you're going to do something and you want to do something for your life and you're not doing it, babes, you're not doing it. You're still doing the negative cycles that you don't want to do. And then when you bring that into the new year, you're literally just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It is not good for nobody, I promise you. I can see that literally held me back, because, okay, one of the negative cycles that I said that I basically had was, I would always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I would say that I would do these things, I would not. Like, I would kind of set myself short. I would say, like, okay, I'll get to it, and then I never end up getting into it. Like, for example, my YouTube, there are certain things, like, I kept on saying, okay, I'm gonna do videos weekly, I'm gonna do videos weekly. Did I end up doing that? I did end up doing it as the year is ending. Yeah, like, the year of December, the month of December, that was really, like, my year to say, like, you know, I had to knock on myself and say, okay, you have to get it done. But if it wasn't for me jumping on myself to say I have to do this, I honestly would not have done it. I'm telling y'all, like, that's something that for me, and I think for y'all, to just break those negative cycles, even if it's the little things. Like, if you say that you're going to do your skincare routine, if you say that you're going to do your night skin routine and your morning skin routine and you're not doing it, you have to literally do it for yourself. If you don't get up and say, I don't want to be this person next year, you have to be the person to say, listen, for example, I'm going to say myself, Lacey, I'm going to say, hey, Lacey, wake up, get up, Do what you need to do, because nobody is going to lift you up by your limbs and do it for you. Ways that I would end up breaking that is by creating a schedule, saying yes to new opportunities. Even if you feel scared about doing something, even if you feel like you'll end up procrastinating, if you start, one day of progress is better than no days of progress, because then you realize like, okay, I might actually be doing this for me. I'm not just doing it just to do it. Like, I actually want to do it. So y'all, I'm determined to break that cycle, because I have to be consistent with myself. If I'm not consistent with myself, it kind of feels like a slap in the face. I'm not gonna lie, like an actual slap in the face. The third thing is stepping into your potential. With stepping into your potential, that could mean so many different things. That could be in a spiritual way, an emotional way, in like a physical way. But I'm just going to say for everything, because that's literally it. So for me, I would say that stepping into my potential would be like spiritually. Like, for example, I would say like, okay, I got to get to reading my Bible. I'm not going to lie. I don't, as much as like I would frequently want to read my Bible, there's certain things where I just be like, no, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. When you don't step into the potential that you could be, like that person that you could be, and then you let it rest, you say, no, I'm not gonna be able to do that, you actually hurt yourself. I'm not gonna lie. You end up hurting yourself, because if you want to be this person, you want to see if you could get yourself to the highest level, but you're not doing the things that you need to get to that level, you're literally setting yourself short. I'm not gonna lie, you're setting yourself short. That's literally it. That actually goes with like the fear of failure, because you might think like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do all these things, but you feel like you're not going to be able to do it, or you feel like you're not going to succeed. That's absolutely wrong, because you don't know if you don't try it out. Even if it gets scary, like, you'll know that you dip your toes in the pool. So what? If you mess up, it's okay. Like, don't set yourself short or feel like you can't do it just because you're scared. There's so many things that people are scared of. Like, for example, I could be scared of this water spray. If I don't spray it in my hair, I won't know. Like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. You won't know if you don't try it. If you don't say yes, you're not going to know no. If you don't say no, you're not going to know yes. You don't know the cause and effects of what will happen if you don't take the leap. If you don't, there's this quote that I love. It's like, take the risk or lose the chance. I've been going by that quote since, I want to say forever, like, especially since I was in middle school. I think that's when I really learned that quote, and I've been going by it, like, for my life. I've been going and going and going, and it's been there for me. Like, you'll lose the chance if you don't take that risk. The next would be redefining success. What people realize is, people always think of success as like, okay, I'm gonna get 1 million followers on YouTube, I'm gonna get 1 million subscribers. I'm not gonna lie, that's me too, because I kind of want all those things. But I think that the biggest piece of success would be like being okay with yourself, being happy for yourself. A lot of times we think that it's just the materialistic things that kind of become what we want, and I feel like this year has really taught me that instead of wanting like the big dreams, like the big fancy cars or whatever, like, be comfortable with what you have. Like, a lot of things that I've got this year, I kind of like shocked myself. Like, even with my camera and stuff like that, a lot of things that I've gotten this year, I was kind of like, I did that. I mean, God did, but like that really came to me. Like, I was just like, really? You could pray on something for so long, and then you think that that's when you succeed, but in reality, that's not when you succeed. I really have to shift my mindset, because if I keep thinking like all the materialistic things like money and stuff like that is the only way that I'll succeed, that's not succeeding. That's just having the things that you want. Like, you have things that are physically in your hand, but it's not the same as being happier on the inside. Like, success would be like being spiritually abundant, being happy with yourself, being happy with your community. That is the real success. Making a new mindset for yourself, realizing that you can't pressure yourself into knowing what will happen, what won't happen. You just have to see things for exactly what it is. If you set yourself short, the only thing that you'll be will coming off short. But if you know that you have a goal and you have somewhere to be, like, for example, we're jumping into 2025, whether we like it or not, we're literally crossing that point. If you don't sit yourself down and say, I'm going to write my goals down, I'm going to do this, this is what I didn't like that I did in 2024, this is what I want to change, then you're going to be stuck doing the same exact things that you do every single year. Do you really want to do that? No. This is what we're leaving behind in 2024. Negative self-talk. We are leaving behind overthinking and self-doubt. We are leaving behind trying to please everybody. Overthinking sometimes is inevitable, but if you're religious or not, I would say for me, I usually just try to give it to God. There's so many things that we can control, and then there's so many things that we obviously cannot control. Holding on to these things personally made me feel stuck because it feels like I'm stuck in a place where I'm constantly having to think about this could go wrong, this could go wrong, instead of switching my mindset into something positive. If you don't remove the toxic things out of your life, especially with this new year coming out, you're literally going to be feeling stuck, which nobody wants that feeling. I personally don't want that for you. So I think that taking a step back, realizing the things that you want, realizing the things that you don't want will put you in the right path where you need to be. We are talking about the non-negotiables for 2025. Prioritizing self-care. Even if it's getting your nails done, getting your hair done, looking nice, make yourself feel good. When you look good, you feel good. Even if you have to DIY. Listen, I'm a DIY girly too. I love clusters. I love doing my own lashes. I love, like, you know, doing my brows. I don't cut or like trim my eyebrows, but I literally just concealer and call it a day. The little things that you can do for self-care, it'll cost you about nothing, or literally I would say maybe less than $20-$30. Do it for yourself. Make yourself feel nice. Like, you have to be proud of the person that you are. And even if you aren't, you can grow to be proud of yourself. Whether it's with school or with growth within yourself or just YouTube in general, a little bit goes a long way. Even if it's just a little tiny bit of progress, you're making that effort, and the effort is all that counts. Boundaries. Do not let any of that toxic or negative drama, negative relationships walk into your new year and shape who you are. It's a no from me, and it'll never be a yes. I'm sorry. If you have to cut the person off, cut the person off. If you have to literally block the person, block the person. Let me tell y'all, my blocking list is I wish I could count it. It's like longer than the size of this bottle. And be glad you blocked them. I'm sorry. Like, don't feel bad about blocking nobody. Seriously, if you have to cut the person out of your life like a parasite, Lord forgive me, just do it. Because the longer you're watching the person, you're watching their story, you're watching what they do, it's kind of like you become a monitoring spirit, and it's not good for nobody. Now we talking about the vision for 2025. The vision is, we're thinking big, we're thinking luxurious, we are thinking just a whole bunch of abundance. I feel like 2025 will be the year that I do things for myself, not just for myself, but for my family. Things where I'm working on projects, I'm doing photo shoots, I'm doing things for YouTube. Just a bit, like, I don't know, my mind is going crazy. I'm just very excited. And I'm excited for y'all to see the progress because my birthday is coming up in January. I honestly, like, okay, I'm 18, graduated high school, all these things, like, I did that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I did that. Like, I made it through. But we gotta be thinking big. Like, I don't know if y'all know what I mean. I'm going to say that this year is going to be all about me. This year is going to be all about my energy. Saving my energy for me, giving more of myself to myself, and allowing God to, like, kind of run his way through it. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna say I'm just putting my hands up, but I'm gonna try my best to just put my hands up and then let God run his course. But it'll just be good for me. I think that it'll be good for all of us. This year is going to be our year of redemption. This is going to be our year of, I wouldn't say healing, but for certain people it probably is their healing year. But for me, it's just more of redemption. Taking back whatever it is that I lost, and then making better for myself, you know? Making better from the things that, my lows, my highs, and just seeing it through. Alright, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy this video. I don't know if I'm going to make another video. I don't know if y'all going to see me in 2025. I don't know if y'all going to see me before that, if I'm going to record before that. But thank y'all so much for all the support, all the love, my 300 subscribers. But anyways, I'll see y'all in my next video.